So, what is mindset reflexology? I had $1 for every time I've been asked that, so to speak. Can't talk about retraining our minds without starting at the start. And the very start, part one, is how do I influence emotions? Now, before I talk about that, I'd like to talk a little bit about what an emotion is. An emotion is biological, not psychological. So what do I mean by that? The biology of an emotion, it is a biological action potential triggered by the brain in response to an external change in our environment. So that's what an emotion actually is. It's a chemical reaction triggered by the brain as a response to an external potential change in our environment. Now, what happens when we suffer an urgent, immediate emotional reaction? We would all feel this. The first thing we feel it is in our breathing. Immediately, our breathing becomes shallow and rapid at the top of our lungs. So we've got to ask ourselves, why is that so? And the reason that's so from a biological perspective is the survival instinct, deeply embedded in every single person on the planet, is to redirect oxygen away from the brain and to the major muscle groups in preparation for fight, flight. That is the standard default reaction to emotional threat of any kind. So how do we step in? How do we teach ourselves, train ourselves to step in at the very earliest possible time to intervene and circumvent and redirect, hopefully, that emotional reaction? Well, the number one way is through breath control. I cannot overstate the importance of breath control as a foundation of emotional regulation. So what do I teach? What is the number one strategy? It is called bellows breathing or diaphragmatic breathing. That is a process of breathing in through the nose, taking air and oxygen down into the belly. So just practice that, breathing in and expanding your belly, breathing out like a bellows. It goes like this. So you breathe in, take the oxygen down into your lower lungs, your stomach, your belly, and then squeeze the bellows together after holding that breath and push it out. That immediately intervenes in the emotional reaction of shallow, high in your lung breathing. So it redirects oxygen back to your brain in a way that once you train yourself better and better, it allows you to interrupt that emotional avalanche, that emotional hijacking. This is the very first place to start with training yourself into a higher level of emotional regulation, which is foundational in moving to phase 2 and phase 3 of mindset reflexology, retraining our auto response aspects of our brain. So start practicing that. You can do it anytime, anywhere, walking, sitting, moving, and the next time you feel an emotional urgency arising, no matter what it is, start practicing bellows breathing, diaphragmatic breathing. I'd love to hear your feedback on this. Please start practicing it. It is foundational to the right mindset for profitable and successful trading.